Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether it's a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. Tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you. Again, it's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road. Let's go out to the phone lines. Broadway, you're on the evolution of sports talk television. Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have... Welcome to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television on a Monday night. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. And how do we start off this show is we'll just get it out of the way. Bring the passion, bring our excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. Even though I know that that's not necessarily how you wanted to spend your time watching that effort yesterday by the defense. Some good things to take out of this game, but mostly negative. And it was really, if you're a football fan in the Tampa Bay area, let's just be honest, it was a bad weekend to be a Tampa Bay sports fan. Oh, it really was. It started out with USF losing to Navy. Their defense wasn't able to make any stops. Their defense wasn't able to get off the field. And then you go to Sunday. You have the lead. And you blow it. You're not able to make any stops. You're not able to take care of business. And then, oh, by the way, the Tampa Bay Lightning... they chipped in too because they blew the lead. So just overall, it was just a bad weekend if you're a Tampa Bay sports fan. So I'm going to try to be optimistic tonight. I know that I was yelling last night. I know that I was a little bit angry. There were some things, not only watching the game that was frustrating, but just knowing what I was about to hear. And I knew tonight getting on this show, even as much as I maybe didn't necessarily want to do it, because I was getting ready to hear, fire this coach, fire that coach, fire this coach. No solutions, just we want to fire everybody. And listen, I definitely would understand if you said, you know what, I don't have faith in this team right now. Like, I get that. With the effort yesterday, with the lack of star power, with not being able to make stops, the defense looked so good there in the first quarter, and then it's like they went back to their old ways of missing tackles, blowing coverages, miscommunication, allowing guys to have free release, allowing guys to just do whatever they want to, be wide open. I get it. You got the Rams this week on Sunday Night Football. Congratulations. They're one of the best and most talented teams in the National Football League, and they may have the MVP of the league in Matt Stafford. They may. I get it. You watch this program. You want me to be optimistic. I'm going to be as optimistic as I can be. But let's put it out there. It's going to be another tough game. They may lose. But the season is not over with. They are 6-4. Who knows? Maybe they can turn this thing around. They've done it in the past. Maybe they can do it again. I guess that's my question for the night. Do you still have confidence in this team? We always say it, right? We always start off the Sunday morning shows. What's your confidence level from 1 to 10? What's your confidence level right now with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team? Give your reasons why. Put it in the chat box there, webheads. Again, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats are always open. Give to the content if you like the content. But put it in there. What's the number right now, Bucs fans, with your confidence level with this team? 1 to 10. And give me some reasons why. And then, of course, the phone lines are always open. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I want to hear from you tonight. And if you want to bitch, if you want to vent, if you're aggravated, you know how I feel. I'm okay with it. but just let's talk about this. Let's see where your confidence level is with this team right now from 1 to 10. And the reason why I start out with that is you had to feel good about some things yesterday. I mean, you can't believe this. And I'm reading it from Greg Allman. We always talk about numbers, statistics, stats, some unbelievable numbers, right? And I'm trying to find them right now as I go through them. Here you go. Bucs rushed for 200 plus yards today, forced 3 turnovers, and still lost to the Bills. The last 71 times an NFL team did those 2 things before today, just 1 loss and 1 tie. The Bucs lost yesterday with all that happening 71 times. Let's go out to Ed. Ed, leading it off here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. What's your confidence level? Didn't get a chance to take your call yesterday. Your thoughts on the Bucs losing to the Buffalo Bills. Welcome to the Evolution.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they can get things straightened out. Okay, so we were actually playing pretty good in the first half. Okay, on both sides of the ball, we were scoring points. The defense was playing well. They were getting stops. They were getting off the field on 3rd down, and then I guess Buffalo made an adjustment, and it was good because they just started dominating us in the 3rd quarter, and it just went into the 4th quarter, and then the game got out of hand.
And the next
thing you know, we go from winning to losing the game. And, we could talk about the head coach, but you know what? We got him. He's here. We're not going to fire the head coach in the middle of the season. So they got to figure something out. And what they got to do is they got to get consistent pass rush the whole game.
Do you blame him? Does he get most of the blame for this loss, in your opinion?
I don't know if it's most of the blame because the players got to play too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the other team is getting paid. So, it's a combination of things. But Buffalo made a really good adjustment. And it was it was so good that they were able to beat us. So, and so basically, the biggest problem with this defense that I've seen is that you can't get a consistent pressure on the quarterback without blitzing 2 or 3 guys.
Correct.
To do it. And you're not going to be able to get away with that a whole game. They're going to adjust. Oh, you're going to blitz 2 or 3 guys, and I'll just go max protection. No problem. All
right. Ed, what else? What's your confidence level right now from 1 to 10?
About beating the Rams?
Just about the whole season. Can the Bucs turn it around?
From 1 to 10, I would say, it's going to be hard for them to miss the playoffs. They're going to probably make the playoffs. But are they Super Bowl contenders now? No, they're not playing like Super Bowl contenders. So I would say a 6.
All right. Ed, appreciate the call. Use that second one if you want to, okay?
Thank you.
All right. The reason why I brought this up, we'll get out to Harry the Greek in just a moment. Todd Bowles was on Sirius XM NFL Radio. He says we're close to putting all 3 phases together. We put a few more phases together yesterday. So there you go. That's what Todd Bowles had to say today. What's your confidence level? Let's go out to the Greek. Stand by. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. Welcome to the Evolution.
What's up, Peter? How are you, sir?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Oof. One of those days. I'm sorry. I'm a few minutes late. I had a little technical difficulties here, believe it or not. But I'm here.
I know. That's good. That's good. Well, let's go out to the phone lines here. Trevor, welcome to the Evolution. What's your confidence level with this team to turn it around? And what's on your mind tonight? Welcome to the Sports Web here on a Monday night.
My confidence level is an 8.
Okay. Why is it an 8?
Well, I mean, a few reasons. I mean, you look at the game yesterday. Obviously the defense was not playing very well, especially in the 4th quarter. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta understand the situation for what it is. Buffalo needed that win in the worst way yesterday.
Correct.
They needed it.
Correct.
They had that. It was one of those had to have it type of wins because New England is like literally like basically like pulling away with their division right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so Josh Allen understood the assignment. He knew he had to be Superman yesterday. Now he turned the ball over like we anticipated him to do, yes. But the bottom line was he was just like, follow me, and he led the way for Buffalo yesterday.
He was like the Terminator. Follow me if you want to live.
Yeah.
Because
he was not going to let them lose.
No, 6 touchdowns yesterday, 3 rushing and 3 passing. He was tremendous, and it's the reason why he's such a tough matchup at the end of the day. You have to get pressure on him, and again, if you don't, we continue to talk about this over and over again, and I think this is going to be the Achilles heel of this defense. This defense will not go anywhere. This Bucs team will not go anywhere unless they get consistent pressure by somebody. And really, no one stepped up yesterday. I mean, you had Tyke Smith with the blitz, Savasier Dennis. Where was Nelson? Not there. Where was Yaya Diaby? Not there. Vita Vea? Not there. Somebody has to step up on this defense. They have to get consistent pressure, or you're really playing with fire when you give a quarterback more than 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. We say it over and over and over and over again. It's football 101.
Absolutely. And honestly, I personally think it's just going to come down to we just got to look at our defense and understand. I mean, I know the season's not even over, but going into the offseason next season, we definitely have to upgrade our front seven.
Right.
We need a linebacker. We need a pass rusher. We need some young, talented pieces to add to that defense in the front seven.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, and I'll be honest with you, here's the deal. Until we fix that, I don't consider us Super Bowl contenders. And that's you know what? Sometimes that's fine. It's part of the rebuilding process. Our defense needs to be rebuilt, particularly in the front seven. But you know what does Harry say? A realist, and I'm just speaking as a realist.
Yep. Until
we upgrade the front seven, personally, I don't think we're Super Bowl contenders, because you look at teams like Buffalo, Philly, down the stretch, Detroit. If their quarterbacks have time to throw the ball, they'll gash us, and that's just what it is. It's like, when you talk about the top contenders in the conference, if you give any of those quarterbacks time, they will pick you apart.
Yeah.
But I'm encouraged because I do believe in Baker.
Thank you.
I'm also encouraged because, at some damn point we're going to get Bucky Irvin back, even though the running game wasn't even a problem yesterday because Sean Tucker played his ass off.
Well, bless you again. You got allergies or something, my friend?
Something caught my nose and tickled it.
For Harry, off topic, Harry, I know you're a Bears fan, man. Your team's looking pretty damn good right now, brother.
Buddy, I'm a Bucs fan, and I am a Bears fan. Oh, they're looking pretty good. They're not the best team in that division. They are in first place by themselves. I am also a realist. If they get healthy on defense, they can play with anybody in football, but they're not going to be, and it's exciting to watch.
It is exciting to watch, and I would say this. I'm ready to pull the plug on Rachaad White as a starting running back.
It didn't look good, Pete. But they ran for 200 yards. Okay, you can't ask for anything more.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because I'm getting ready to throw a wrench.
And that was behind Tucker.
I'm getting ready to throw. You were right about that with Sean Tucker, by the way. But I'm getting ready to throw a wrench into everybody's spokes, because they're going to be like, "What? How many people have talked about firing Todd Bowles in the show today? Anybody?"
Well, not anybody yet. The show just started, but I'm figuring there's going to be probably about 1,000 responses to it. We had it last night, so I'm expecting it.
I definitely don't want to fire Todd Bowles. I think we should keep him. We just need to upgrade the defense.
When you're done with this caller, I'm going to give you a take that nobody is going to think this is even possible.
So, Trevor,
I'll get off the phone because I want to hear this take.
Trevor, what's your call?
You got it, and you can call back, Trevor.
All right, stand by here. We'll cut off the calls. Thanks a lot, Trevor. Appreciate you as always. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's hear this take, and then we'll go back out to the phone
And
line.
it doesn't take take a single shot. I really want you on here because I want to be able to speak with you if that's okay.
Sure.
Peter, how long has Todd Bowles been the head coach of this team?
What for what since 2022?
Roughly, correct?
Right. Right.
How many playoff appearances?
Yep. Well, you won 3 straight NFC South titles, have you not?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
How long has Baker Mayfield been our quarterback?
Baker Mayfield since 2023.
Okay, I'm going somewhere with this because I rely on you. You're my encyclopedia, okay?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And my dictionary.
Sure. I'm trying.
When Baker Mayfield was brought to Tampa, and even the webheads, Greekites, and everybody that are out there, did anybody really envision him to turn this team around? Honestly,
No,
he was not a sought-after quarterback, was he?
not after. No.
And when you found him, and you were able, you struck gold. I call it stepping on your pee-pee, for lack of better words.
Sure. That's why I think it's laughable when people say that.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Well, I kind of do, but again,
I'm almost there.
Here's the thing. Everybody says that Todd Bowles was left with a Super Bowl roster. That's untrue. He wasn't.
He was not. The Super Bowl roster got dismantled.
Correct.
Okay, when you're tight end and you lost your all-pro, arguably the best center in all of football. Yep. You did have a human turnstile on the left side of the line, but he was even serviceable. And you had one of the better offensive lines. So we don't want to go there.
Right.
Okay, I'm not trying to go Stephen A. on everybody.
Right.
But this take is my take, and take it to the bank. So, for lack of better words, Tampa kind of stepped on their own pee-pee with Baker Mayfield. Wouldn't you agree? Because you remember what the original deal was, Peter? How much?
$4 million.
3. Okay. And then he had $3 more million in incentives to prove himself.
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about a second-round draft pick as a quarterback that was a bust. Who was it, Peter?
Oh, it was the second round.
My boy from Florida. Go ahead. Spit it out.
Kyle Trask.
Okay. How did Tryon Shayanka do?
Bad.
Okay. How many different defensive edge rushers went in the NFL this year that were free agents that Tampa never even tapped the brakes on? Now, I'm not talking about the man on the milk carton, Peter. How many? 3 of them?
Yeah.
Name them. Crosby, but he recently signed with them. Hendrickson. Who else was there? The defensive lineman that went over from
Micah Parsons. Yeah.
Correct. Micah Parsons, the outside linebacker that went to Green Bay, and the guy that the Dallas Cowboys got. So who are we stuck with? The guy in the milk carton. What's his name? Huh?
Hassan Reddick.
Okay, thank you. You're not going to strike gold every time. Once revered, the best general manager in football is now a mediocre to a below average general manager. At what point did the fans start holding him accountable? Forget the Todd Bowles crap. Todd Bowles can only put on the field and play with what he's assigned. Right. He's not in there making room and making deals. This falls on the GM. Nobody else.
Well, I think
nobody. You ran for 200 yards and you lost a football game. Where's your pass rush? Where's Hassan Reddick?
Hurt.
Even if he wasn't hurt, I'd rather have at least Tryon Shayanka showed up. And he wasn't even any good. Then he went into another team, and now he's a backup player on the Chicago Bears roster. Really? But people want to talk about firing Todd Bowles. I had 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, to digest the bullshit that you guys put Peter through yesterday. This is not a fire Todd Bowles thing. This is now demanding accountability from a general manager that's almost no different than a Stu Sternberg. Financially. And I'm going to go there. Because you know what? This is the same team that 2 years ago, and the roster hasn't changed much, Peter. What were they doing 2 years ago? We were rebuilding. Oh my God, we caught lightning on a bottle because we just paid $3 million for a quarterback, and we didn't realize he was this damn good. Who'd you surround him with in free agency? Nobody. The offense is still putting up points, even though they're decimated at the wide receiver position. The offensive line has been completely in shambles.
7 different combinations. 7 different Listen, I get
anyway,
that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get so emotional. But nobody's talking about the GM on this team.
Well,
Why? Because we won a Super Bowl with them? Bull crap.
Well, I think you could definitely hold him accountable because he went and you tried to take a chance with Hassan Reddick and it hasn't worked out. You thought that giving a guy a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal, that it was just an anomaly, if you will, with the New York Jets, and it's not. He made some plays, but he was
a cancer. I told you he was a cancer in that locker room from inside sources from New York, and he's no different when he was in Philly. They didn't want to be around him. He is more of a cancer. And you remember who I compared him to? Brandon Marshall, Peter.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
It's all about me. Mike Evans? Buddy, there ain't many people out there like a Mike Evans.
Or Chris Godwin, for that matter. I mean,
come on. Give me a break.
And
but you know what? These naysayers, this team's going to be fine. And by the way, if you think they're making the playoffs without winning the division, you're highly mistaken. But the Greeks got something for you. How about this?
Okay.
The Panthers' remaining schedule: at San Francisco, at home versus the Rams, at New Orleans, at home versus Tampa Bay and Seattle, and then they go to Tampa Bay. That's the team you got to worry about. That's the team I talked about in the beginning part of the season that I said might give Tampa some problems. Everybody's like, nah, they're garbage. You see what they did? Okay. Atlanta's the best 3-win team I've ever seen. You're correct. This is a weak division. But I'm telling you right now, Atlanta could beat any team in the National Football League when they bring their A game.
Well, they're going to have Kirk Cousins. They're going to have Kirk Cousins now because I believe Penix went to the IR, correct?
I believe so. Tampa, they're at the Rams. They come home for 3 straight games: Cards, Saints, Falcons. Then they go to Carolina. I'm sorry. I think I got this correct, don't I?
I think you go. Yeah.
No, they can't play Carolina back to back. I know the last game is going to be the Panthers.
That is correct. They are playing. It is the Rams next, of course. Then you have the Cardinals at home. You have the Saints at home.
At home versus Atlanta.
That's right. Thursday Night Football. And then you go on the road on December 21st and face the Panthers. You go on the road and face the Dolphins. And then you end up with the Panthers at home, which may be the division at this point with the way the Panthers have come back.
It's not going to be.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
And people are entitled to talk about the play calling. Look, they didn't win. But what else do you want from a head coach when you're running the football 200 yards?
To that point,
you got to look above the coach now, boys, and you got to start talking about personnel.
I think
Hassan Reddick.
Well, Yaya Diaby, Anthony Nelson, Chris Braswell. I mean, it hasn't worked. Jason.
They're not bad players.
They're not bad players, but they're not great players. They're not game wreckers. They're not what you want. Yaya Diaby, I love him. He's got lots of potential, but where was he yesterday? He's shown flashes of brilliance, but is it just flashes at this point?
He's not.
You need a game.
You could put that call on hold for a second because Tampa Bay Ray, he actually sent me something, and I got to give him credit for it. So who did the Bucs lose to? Patriots. They're 9-2. The Bills are 7-3. The Eagles are 8-2. Okay, 2 of them are top in their conference. The other one's second in the conference.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
And we want to fire the head coach.
Yes, because they don't think the Bucs are good enough because they can't beat these teams. But they're 1 or 2 plays away from beating these teams. They're that close. And then again, you look at yesterday's effort. You rush for over 200 yards. You cause 3 turnovers. You win the turnover battle. But your defense is not able to get off the field. You give up all kinds of big plays. You give up 6 touchdowns to Josh Allen.
And Ray said it best. And you want to fire the guy who's keeping this insane asylum together, minus a Hall of Fame wide receiver and his apprentice, which is Chris Godwin, and an offensive line that is jumbled more times than words on the Sunday, more times than the Sunday funnies. Yeah, you effing idiots, you do. Quote unquote for Tampa Bay Ray. Couldn't be written any better.
Well, I agree. I agree, but I also understand the other point here where Jason Lights had more hits than he's had misses. But when it comes down
not lately,
to
Pete,
getting an edge rusher, he's definitely struck out. Let's go out to the phone lines
Not
here.
lately.
Alex, welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, Alex.
Guys, good evening. Good evening. Listen,
Good evening.
I will literally, what's the word it called? I will literally super chat you both if you give me 7 minutes of your time. Just 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
You don't have to super chat me, but go ahead.
I'm going to give you my take on what I think and what I think the problem is. And by the way, the Greek hit most of it right on the freaking money. Here's my issue. Here's my issue besides the GM part. I do not think Todd Bowles deserves to be fired. Absolutely not. But here is my concern. When I was growing up as a kid, I've always been taught to focus on one thing at a time. Keep that in your mind. Todd Bowles is a great defensive coach. Hear me out. Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. A defensive coordinator. Let me finish. But he's doing two jobs at once. Remember, you got to do two. You got to be able to do one job at a time. I think the problem with this team is the Bucs are at a position where we are absolutely lacking on every phase of the ball, from offense to defense to special teams. I truly cannot name a game this season that this entire team has came together and played absolutely lights out together. Special teams alone has been god awful all year long. And that's a whole nother story. But I think this team lacks a defensive coordinator because Todd Bowles cannot do both. That is my take on that. So I just
Well, he is calling. I didn't mean to interject, but he is calling.
Last thing, I'm done. The problem is you can't, and this is why I do blame some of this on Todd, but not all of it, because of what the Greek just said before I got on the line, which goes back to the GM. I feel like Todd Bowles just has too much on his plate because you're lacking that defensive coordinator, that job, because he's doing two jobs at one time. You need to hire a defensive coordinator to focus on this young defense, and because this team is just cluster freak all over every phase of the ball. And when Todd Bowles gets asked the tough questions, and I ain't gonna lie, some of this take was absolutely on the JP Pearson show this morning, and I could not agree with them more. Todd Bowles just has too much on his plate, and you're lacking that extra coach, that extra mind, which I believe that's where Todd should be, because Todd Bowles does run a good defense. I believe he absolutely runs a hell of a defense. But since he's taken that head coach position, especially with the injuries, you're lacking that. Now, I will say, what turned
Please deposit $20 for another 2 minutes.
I know, 2 more minutes. What turned the Bucs around yesterday? Jamel Dean getting hurt. When Jamel Dean got hurt, Jamel Dean left the field. The entire defense, completely elapsed. So I'm sorry. My take on it is I just don't think. I think I agree with everything that the Greek said. You got to hire a defensive coordinator because you're leaving, or put Todd Bowles back there and hire another head coach. Not saying Todd Bowles is doing a bad job. I think he's doing a great job with the injuries.
Respectfully, they can't do that. They can't demote a head coach. I've never seen that happen with any kind of success in the National Football League. I agree with what you're saying to a certain degree. He's already calling his own defensive plays. He's up there letting his people work for him. This is a situation where this team is not as talented on the defensive side of the ball, and I now have seen it 2 weeks in a row where they can't set the containment to keep the rushers in. Now, that's either a personnel issue, a scheme issue, or a personnel issue. And what I discovered after rewatching it, not once or twice, 3 times, it's a personnel issue right now. And that's why I went on my little diatribe about an edge rusher. They're not playing containment, and they are just torching them on the strong side of the opposing offensive line, just absolutely torturing them. But, Alex, they ran 200 yards. Do you understand? They ran for 200 yards.
Yeah, I
scored
know.
32 points, and you lost the game.
I mean, this is the last thing I want to throw out to you guys. How many times do we have to sit here? This is my most frustrating part. It's happened the last 2 weeks. How many times, and this goes back to Jason like not doing jack shit at the deadline and that tells me right there you already gave up on this team, which I think is absolutely nonsense to give up on it.
I don't think he gave up on the team. We don't know if there was a deal to be made. We don't know if they wanted to give up multiple first-round picks for somebody. I understand where you're coming from, but we don't know if they tried to talk to somebody. It takes two to tango. Again, the Cincinnati Bengals may have not wanted to get rid of Trey Hendrickson without giving up a first-round pick. He's like 31 years old. I get it. You want to slide him in there and have him be your edge rusher, but he's already hurt, and he's up there in age. Plus, you're going to have to pay him. So if you trade a first-round pick, we don't know what other teams wanted. It's so easy to sit there and say, you know what, you should have made a deal. You should have made a deal. Yeah, maybe you should have made a deal at this point.
Peter, I'm going to jump on that one. I agree with you, but man, I told you, and all the reports came back, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a chance to fix their wide receiver core by getting DJ Moore. This asshole wouldn't come part. You know what? That's not nice. This GM would not come off a third-round draft pick. Are you out of
I'm going to ask you guys a question, because I'm out of here for the night, and I'm out of here because I have to get going.
I'm going to be honest with you, with giving up a third-round pick.
That was a steal, Pete.
Maybe, but I mean, there's more needs to this team than a wide.
The man is better than Deebo Samuel.
He may
use him as a running back. You put him in the slot. You can run him in the A. You can run him in any position.
But he's not going to solve your biggest problem, which is edge rusher. I'm more willing to.
No, I get it. I was just giving you an example.
Right.
When you're sitting there on the fringe of a team that's completely depleted on offense, who still scored, let me remind people, 32 points. They did everything right in this game offensively, run for 200 yards. He didn't throw for 200 yards, but he ran for 200 yards. He had a pick and he had a TD. That was the game I was expecting out of Baker and this offense, and you lose because of the defense.
That's right. But your offense is not going to help you. He's trading for a wide receiver as talented as DJ Moore is not going to help you. I guess what they're considering
it was just an example.
Right. But what they're banking on is getting Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Jalen McMillan back eventually.
Yeah, eventually. What happens
Here's
if they lose the next
I have
2
a quick
games?
question. I really have to go. It's the last question. I just don't understand on all these Bucs pages and in the chats, and even I'm gonna be honest with you, even you guys right now, why are we so harped on the offense? The offense is still putting up at times 25 plus points a game. We don't need a wide receiver. We don't need a tight end. We don't need anything, maybe some offensive line help, but the offense is not the issue.
It's not the issue. We never said it was the issue.
I'm just saying, and not you guys as individuals, but the problem is that like I said, you just need to put a defensive coordinator. If that means Todd Bowles needs to hire, or not Todd Bowles, if that means the front office needs to hire a defensive coordinator to put less stress on Todd Bowles, I don't think Todd Bowles can do 2 jobs.
I don't think it's a scheme issue. I think it's a player issue.
I appreciate that, and I can tell you what's going to happen, because they did the same thing with Lovie Smith, and we'll get out to Brightside Broadway here from North Carolina in just a moment. Stand by. This also happened with Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith was struggling on defense. The ownership, or I believe Jason Light, went to him. Front office went to him. Glazers went to him, as the story goes, to hire a defensive coordinator. He refused. He did not want to do it. And then eventually they fired him and hired Dirk Cutter. That was the story.
Well, he got railroaded too. I told you the story behind the scenes. But right. I'm telling you, Peter, this team, it's not a coaching issue. This is purely, right now, a personnel issue, and they've got to get it right. They got to right that ship on defense. They're not going anywhere. And it is an offensive problem as well, because you don't know who you're going to – if you had Godwin and Mike Evans out there, I'm telling you, it would be a totally different look.
And it's also play calling, 3rd and 2.
Don't forget my $20, man. That was more than 7 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely was more than 7 minutes. All right, let's go out to Brightside. Brightside, go ahead, my friend.
Hey, brother, I want to first apologize on behalf of the Webheads last night. you didn't deserve what you got, and you're doing a great job. So are you, Harry. And I don't get the nonsense.
Well, there's a lot of frustration right now with Bucs.
Anytime they're losing is
because
going to be nonsense, and it didn't hurt Peter's feelings in the least. Let me
not
explain
at all.
something to you.
I know.
Peter has a job to do. He doesn't look through
Yeah.
fan glasses when he's actually, commentating on the team.
No.
Okay, he can wish a little bit better, and he can disagree with people, but fire the guy. I don't.
Yeah, I just felt like there's a lot of frustration last night, and I understand that. I understand there was going to be that, but I was just saying, what's the solution to it? And everybody's like, well, you're defending Todd Bowles. I said, listen, Todd Bowles is not the worst coach of all time. Is he without fault? Of course he's not. But is that the biggest solution that we're saying fire the coach at this point? Who are you going to hire? Nobody has any answers. I heard last night somebody say Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel's from the Miami Dolphins. He's been a lunatic. My favorite word from the media icon, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. He's been a lunatic with the Miami Dolphins, and you want to hire him. Some Bucs fans think that he is the answer because he's an offensive mind. He's had no success at all with the Miami Dolphins. In fact, that team is so soft. They're worse than what the Bucs are at this point, defensively, offensively, in all three phases of the game. So he's not the answer. So everybody's saying, fire the coach. And I've heard this many years from Bucs fans. And then people go, well, you're just settling for being mediocre or mediocrity. No, we're not. Mediocrity is basically not making the playoffs, having double-digit losing seasons. That's a losing mentality. That's mediocre. What you've had right now with Todd Bowles the last 5 to 7 years and Bruce Arians and Jason Light, that's greatness is what's going on. It's good. You had a Super Bowl in there. That's great. It's not the worst in the world. I get the frustration, but again, Bucs fans, you got to put this in perspective. These are good teams you're losing to. It doesn't necessarily mean the Bucs are not a good team. They're just not playing well. They're not playing well enough. And even the coach talked about it tonight on Sirius Radio. We're close to putting all three phases together. They don't play complementary football. Their offense can have a great game. Their defense has an off game. Their special teams has an off game. Majority of the time, the special teams has an off game.
Peter, as bad as they're playing right now on defense, they may not even win this game coming up, even though I do like them. They're still going to end up being 11-win teams, so that means they're going to win 5 of their next 6.
Right. Right. And this is what they've done. So every Bucs fan getting up in arms and saying, I can't believe this is going on. Look back at the history. This is what they've done through Todd Bowles' career, whether you want to be frustrated or not. And then if they don't do it, if they don't respond, then we can have the conversation if you want to fire somebody. But it's always like, it's always the knee-jerk reaction. It's always the overreaction. Let's fire the coach because of this. Let's fire the coach because of that. Fire the coach. Who are you going to hire? Who's going to be the interim coach right now?
Well, Dayball's available.
Exactly.
Right. He's been absolutely so successful with the New York Giants because he just got fired too.
Don't forget Eberflus is out there. He's only a D coordinator.
I mean, there you go. Hire him. Right. Let's go and get him too.
And Peter,
my goodness,
I think we have short-term memory loss sometimes because we've been in this situation before, but we've always overcome and win the division, and I still think we have a chance to make the playoffs.
Listen, the only way they make the playoffs this year, they got to win the division. They will win the division. It's going to be tight after another week from now. It's going to be tight, but Tampa walks away with it. I'm going to give you the prediction now. Tampa wins 11, and this is how close it's going to be. Carolina's going to get to 9.
Wow. All right. And I said 12 at the beginning of the year.
Do you know why they're not going to win 11? Is because Tampa's going to beat them twice.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't think we need to fire the coach. I do think we need to look at changes next year.
Well, I definitely think there may be some changes.
There's changes every year, man. Thanks for calling in.
Brightside, appreciate you as always. All right.
Thank you. But, there's changes every single year, Peter. You're going to have to agree with that as well.
Sure.
But I want to see some real changes. Now this is enough. I've been making excuses for 2-3 years. get yourself a damn edge rusher. Stop playing around with local guys that weigh 490 pounds and thinking that they're going to become football players and they're going to sit there and play next to Vita Vea. This is the second time they've cut the guy. Go out and get yourself an impact player on defense, and you're going to have to get off your draft picks, and unfortunately, you're going to have to get off your wallet. Okay, you do that, and you're going to make a difference.
Well, again, $14 million is nothing. I wouldn't call him
Greg, I already know that, okay, buddy? I already said that Tucker was going to be the guy. Seriously, he's a third-string running back.
And he shouldn't be a third-string running back.
But he's going to be a third-string running back because of White. And then White will go. And you can put that on your general manager's list as well. Go to your next call, Pete.
Yeah, I'm going to the next call right now. Stand by here. Hold on. Who do we got? Welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Lamar.
What's going on, Lamar?
Aloha. Not too bad, man. I think like everyone is stressing about our team.
Right.
What? They're going to be an 11-win team. I'm just tired of people saying fire the coach. It's a bunch of horse crap.
Yeah. Let me let's talk. For sure, there's definitely going to need to be like some changes. Everybody knows that. And it's going to happen like every year. We're going to make changes.
What changes do you want to see made?
I mean, I think, I know what he's going to say. Probably the special teams coach to be fired or let go because the special teams has struggled, especially yesterday, giving up kick returns of 61, 29, 44, 41, having constant block punts, having missed assignments at the end of the day. It has not been pretty.
And they're just like on all three phases of the game, there's been hiccups with all three phases, not just like one particular one. More so, yes, maybe. But, our offense and our defense, the game yesterday, there was some hiccups. There were some hiccups on the defensive side. We're missing some key guys. We know that. On both sides, we're missing guys. You know what I mean? But if we just constantly think about like, the guys that we're missing, that's like what we got to depend on, then we're never going to have like success with our newer generation that's coming in. We have a lot of rookies and they're all learning right now.
Well, guys got to step up, and it didn't help them.
And they are stepping up. But it's a process.
Right.
And we know that.
Well, Benjamin Morrison not having that training camp, not having the preseason, missing time with the hamstring.
And that's just one guy. You're talking about just one guy.
Right. But I mean, that's one guy yesterday that was getting burnt by Josh Allen, throwing in his direction.
And this is very true. There's a lot of things going on. There's some stuff going on the defensive line, that could have been a little bit different, on the left side. You got guys coming off the line to have to chase down a wideout when the second should be doing that job. So there was a lot of mixed matches in there.
What's your confidence level? What's your
confidence level? Yeah, man, look, this is our team, man. I'm gonna be 200% with our guys, man, all the time. Okay. They just as like for each group, as the offense and the defense and the special teams, they all have some work to do. They
articulate what you mean by that.
Once they like start doing, once all those rookies and everybody and as a whole team, this is not one individual person. This is a whole team. It takes the whole team. Yeah, right. So let's let the whole team like rebuild and grow themselves, and they're going to be great. They will.
All right, Lamar. I appreciate the time as always.
Thanks, Lamar. Good call.
Yep.
All right, buddy. All right, let's go out to the phone lines here. What's your name? Where you calling from? You're on the Sports Web here on a Monday night. Hello, caller.
Great call.
What's going on, guys? This is KR. What's up, Peter? What's up, Harry? How you doing tonight?
What's up, KR? Long time no
hear.
How
you
doing?
I'm good. Just that game yesterday was a struggle and a pain to watch. And I've listened to everybody. I've even thought about with the coaching situation. I have a scenario. let's say the season ends, the Bucs are one and done. Why don't we let Coach Bowles retire and then go from there about getting a coach instead of firing him? Because I know fans want to fire the coach. But like I said, I agree that it's just 50-50. Both fall on management and the head coach. And like with coaching, being the head coach, you got to have all that responsibility. And we've been saying this for like the last 2 years. He needs to give up the coaching side of defensive play calling and let one of these other assistants coach up the team. Like, give them a shot. You got Larry Foote there. You have another coaching there. Let those guys be the DC and let Coach Bowles overall coach the team. We have so much leadership on both sides of the ball. It's like, I just don't understand it. Like, we struggled yesterday stopping Josh Allen, and it made no sense because I'm like, we ran for 200 yards. We scored 30 points. That was a winnable game yesterday. And just to watch Josh Allen do what he did, it showed me he's human and he can be beat. And it was just very frustrating on both ends. And like Harry said, a lack of pass rush has been the Achilles heel for the Bucs for the last 3 seasons. And it's just something I don't understand, where it's either draft one, sign one in free agency. You're going to have to take a risk eventually or trade for a guy possibly. Look at the Cowboys now with Quinn Williams. He's making a hell of a game tonight against the Raiders.
Yeah, I love Quentin Williams. I love him, but you're going to have to give up a first-round pick. You're going to have to
I understand, and it's a risk we have to take if we want that kind of talent that we don't have, because we can't obviously seem to grow it by drafting, because look at all the guys that we've drafted that's become whiffs. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Logan Hall, unfortunately. You got Savante Dennis, a second-year player, and he's struggling as just becoming a linebacker and learning the way of the role of his job. And it's like, dude, we got to find someone that can make a difference maker. Hassan Reddick, we got fool's golded. Glad we only saw him for a year, because for all that money, we could have got 2 more other guys and said, look, let's try to, add from subtracting. It's just very, very frustrating to watch this team go through that midseason spiral that we've noticed the last few seasons. And that's where I kind of look at Bowles and it's like, what are you going to do? This is where you need to tell your team, we got to go out there and win a game, because guess what? The NFL is not easy. It is, every schedule is going to be hard no matter who we play. We can chalk up next week as a loss. We can chalk up next week as a win. We just don't know. We have to go out there and play the game. But the thing is, too, you got the franchise quarterback right now, and he's going to play his ass off no matter what the situation is. And it's like, we got to do something, because, like you said, this is just unacceptable. Like, I just see it as, if we go one and done again, fans are going to clamor for somebody to go. I'm sorry to say it. It's a reality. Fans are it's like, are we going to consider just doing what Coach Dungy was, making it to the dance, but not advancing?
All right. Yeah, I mean, I hear the frustration. I understand it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of fans thinking the same thing. And of course, this conversation will be had, even if they win in division at the end of the day. If they're one and done, they may have this conversation again. KR, appreciate the call as always. All right.
Thanks, guys, and happy holidays, guys.
Yeah, man. Happy holidays. Appreciate you. Open phone line 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let me go after this person. I don't know who this is. They were trying to call in. Let's try to get them on here, and then we'll get back to the conversation of. All right. What's your name? Where you calling from? You're on the sports web.
What's up, Peter? This is Tristan.
What's going on, Tristan? How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, man. What is Harry got going on tonight? Is that Cuisinart, the cote? Like, what are you over there cooking with?
Cuisinart. There ain't no Cuisinart behind. Well, actually, that is really, really cool. I'll tell you what. That is probably the most expensive toaster I have ever purchased.
Yeah, you out here cooking tonight, right?
It's a ninja, brother. It's a ninja.
Man. You are cooking. Like, man, you just don't know how many years I've been telling Peter here about old Jason Light, and finally somebody says it.
Well, listen, we can say it all day long, but we can also remember that Jason Light went after Ndamukong Suh. We can remember that Jason Light went after and traded for Jason Pierre-Paul. We can remember that Jason, hold on. We can remember that he also went out and got Shaq Barrett in free agency. We can remember that
and then he went back and got Shaq Barrett again. But that was way back then. He has made way too many swing and misses.
I understand that he has not been able to get the edge rusher right, but you look at more hits than misses. Bucky Irving, Jalen McMillan, Tyke Smith.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna be on my soapbox.
Tristan Wirth,
buddy. I'm not talking about. Not talking about his draft picks.
Right.
I'm talking about his acquisitions the past 2 or 3 years that are coming into the organization to make upgrades to deficiencies that this team has. And
Okay.
they have yet to get a good pass rusher. And
That's
they're
fair.
still missing one linebacker. Sorry. I'm
Well,
calling it the way I see it.
I get it, and we can bring up all the free agent acquisitions, but there was one acquisition there that's kind of irrefutable that he was there. 12 was there. Like 12 kind of, the boat raises all times, or whatever the case may be. Tom Brady rose the level. If you look at Jason Light prior to the Super Bowl run, he's kind of trending back in that direction. Exactly how it was for the 7 years before Brady, to where he just couldn't get right, especially at the DN position. Now, not saying I'm not going to be calling for Jason Light's job, because obviously he plays a part in us being perennial playoff contenders at this point. So I find it to be foolish to call for his job. Now, let's talk about some of the positives here. So we've lost to the Patriots. We've lost to the Bills. So we can reframe it. We can say we lost to last year's MVP.
They lost to 2 division leaders and 1 second place in the division. That's who they've lost to. That's 3 of their games that they've lost to. These are games that could have went either way. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. With the Patriots, that's just not the best team in the conference. That's the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, record-wise,
on paper, you got to call it what it is.
Well, they lose to them by 5 points.
Yeah, and like next week, we play what could be the MVP of this season. So we're playing the best teams in football, and we're losing the game.
You're losing a couple of games.
Yeah, well, I mean, we 11-6, 10-7 was what I saw in the beginning.
Listen,
anyway.
They're going to go 11 wins. Look at the rest of the schedule. They're going to go 11 wins, and unless this team completely shits the bed, which I doubt that's going to happen. Carolina is extremely improved. I said it before the season started. That was the team that might give the Bucs a little bit of a fit this year. And let me tell you something. I don't know what's going on in Atlanta, but that is a head coaching issue. You have a roster like that. Right that, my friend, is a coaching issue, because that is the best 3-win team I can remember in 30 years.
Well, listen, and they're going to have Kirk Cousins back.
Obviously, and they can play with anybody.
We know what Kirk Cousins has been able to do against the Todd Bowles defense. So it's as much as we want to sit here and say, that's an easy game, you should win. It's a winnable game.
Easy.
We none of these games are easy. I called for 12-5, and I'll stick by that.
They're going to go. If they win this next game, they'll win the card out.
Okay.
If they win this Rams game, they will run the table, and then we're going to forget about this, this little hiccup, and everybody's going to be.
If they don't,
Todd Bowles should be coach of the year. We all know where that's going to go to if they go to the playoffs.
Yeah. Of course. Well, Vrabel got that hands down.
I don't know about that. That'll either be Vrabel or that'll be Ben Johnson. That'll be one of the two.
Right. All right, Tristan. What else, my friend? What's your confidence level right now with this Buccaneer team? Do you think they could turn it around?
Here's the thing. My confidence level is at a 6, and I'm confident in one thing. And for the people calling for Bowles' job to be fired as defensive coordinator, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard this week.
Come on, can't you be a little more animated than that? Come on, man.
But of course. But here's the thing, though. There's a slow and there's a very slim possibility on something that I've seen happen in this football league. I've seen a team with young players at the end of the season, they start to get it. And it starts to look a little bit different than it did during the rough parts of the season. So there's a probability that these guys can elevate their level of play. The only thing in which we can hope for right now is Hassan Reddick comes back and he's half of what we expected him to be. If he can do that,
you got hope in one hand and shit in the other, you still got nothing.
Yeah,
that's what Hassan Reddick is.
It's not about him. It's the decoy that he would play, because other teams will pay attention to the name more than the player. So that could elevate Anthony Nelson. That could elevate the other guys.
Yeah,
it can elevate Yaya Diaby. It can elevate Braswell. It could elevate the other guy, just him being on the field and being a decoy.
Got a point. I may not agree with his point 100%, Peter, but the guy's got a definite point there.
All right, Tristan. Appreciate the
call.
Tristan,
you're awesome, man. Thanks for calling in, buddy. One of the better calls tonight. Thank you.
He's awesome, man.
No problem.
That guy. All right, love that guy. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's get out to the comments here. We're ready. Good night, Peter Blake. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
I'm the first positive today. Positives from the webheads. Let's go out to Mr. Jim. Jim?
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
Welcome to the Evolution.
How you doing? I've been listening contently. So, who do we got in the league that's out there like JPP and Dominican Sue?
You don't have anybody out there right now like that.
Oh,
I mean, you got JPP out there, but I mean, he's over the hill at this point. I mean, everybody
even over the hill, he'd get more pressure on the quarterback than Hassan Reddick has.
You're probably right. You're probably right about that.
With 3 of his fingers blown off.
But the thing is this: they invested $14 million. They want to get his money's worth when he comes back. They don't want to be wrong. Jason Light's a prideful man, maybe a little bit too prideful. But you want to get your money's worth.
We ain't got time for no prize. We're looking for wins.
Well,
you're gonna get plenty of them coming up.
I still think they have an opportunity to go 12-5. We'll see.
My number is 8.
Yeah.
For Peter Blake's question.
12-5, and we want to fire the coach.
Well, yeah, you'll hear it too because they didn't beat anybody. They didn't beat anybody. You'll hear it all day long. They didn't beat anybody. That's the reason why they went 12-5.
Neither have the Bears, Peter. Did you hear about that?
I mean, a lot of Super Bowl teams that win Super Bowls during the year, they get a break with the schedule. They beat the teams they're supposed to beat. They still count it as a Super Bowl. To Bucs fans, they would have fired Todd Bowles any chance they get.
Okay, here's a question for you guys. How far are we going to get in the playoffs?
It depends on who they're playing. This thing's wide open. Right now, there's one team head and shoulders above everybody, and that's the team that the Buccaneers are going to be facing. But you want to know something? They have holes on that team on the defense. Then you got a team like the Detroit Lions who can run the ball and pass the ball with anybody in the entire National Football League whose defense looked really good. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles who play defense better than anybody in football. But their offense is a little lackluster. Terrible. And then you got that Chicago Bear team that might make the playoffs who can play offense with anybody, but their defense is horrid because they're all banged up. So how far does Tampa go? They could go all the way to the Super Bowl. It just depends on who they're going to line up against. And I haven't even talked about the San Francisco 49ers or the Green Bay Packers.
Or the Seattle Seahawks.
Wait a minute. That's right. The Seattle Seahawks, the team in in Libville, United States, up there in off in Oregon. Okay, I mean, give me a break. That team is playing so well, it's not even funny.
And by the way, did the Bucs beat them with Todd Bowles and that defense with Levante?
Wait a minute, did the Greek give that pick out?
You did give that pick out, yes, but they did beat them. Well, there's fans out there who still say the Bucs can't beat any good teams. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. They beat the
49ers. Yeah,
right.
But you know, Purdy wasn't playing. I understand that. They played against a better quarterback in Darnold.
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, the banged up defense. All right, Jim, appreciate the call. Anything else, my friend?
Yeah, I just think Jason Light's got to make some moves somewhere and get some more players. We need somebody next to Vita Vey, man. They all can't and yada yada
The
yada.
interior line's fine. They need an edge rusher, man.
Need an edge. Yeah,
they need one edge rusher. That's it.
Maybe you can get back Elijah Cansey.
Damn it, man! Damn it, Peter! You're the one that convinced me that he was going to come and be a really good football player, and I kept telling you I had my reservations. I did not like that guy from Jump Street when they made that signing. You remember that?
Yep, Hassan Reddick. Yep, you hated it.
Yep. Any player that refuses to play because of this, and then when he did get this, it wasn't enough, and I don't want to play. I don't want him on my team.
Well, he's on this team, so the Bucs are going to definitely depend on him when he comes back from injury. Who knows when that is at this point?
Break my heart to see him walk down the street.
Jim, appreciate the call as always. All right, my friend.
All
right, Ed. I see you wanted to use that second call. Let's go.
Lamar, you're right. It's not Oregon. It's Washington. I'm sorry, man. I got it right. You know what? If it wasn't for Lamar, I'd be lost.
Positives from the webheads. We're not getting rid of anyone on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, especially the head coach who just got paid. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Thank you, Jim. The final countdown. Lamar says, aloha, Peter H. Blake. Aloha to you.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Cole. Evening, guys. Let's go. Bulls, Bucks, Lightning, Cubs, and Rays. I love it.
You know, there's one thing missing in there. You don't have socks in there.
Well, we don't have Sox in there. USF needs some love, too. How surprised or disappointed were you, Harry, that USF fell to Navy?
I don't even want to talk about it, Pete. That's how upset I am about that game.
All right, let's go out to Ed. Ed, using your second call. Go ahead, my friend.
So people need to chill out, okay? Because this is just the middle of the season. We still have a record that we're still on the driver's seat as far as winning the division. We're still on the driver's seat making the playoffs. And to be honest with you, some of the teams that are going to make the playoffs are teams we've already beaten. So what's the problem here, guys?
There isn't. Does this team make the playoffs if Baker goes down for any reason?
No.
Probably not.
I still think they do.
You do?
Absolutely. I sure do. This schedule favors Tampa so well. If you're telling me that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can't beat the Cardinals or the New Orleans Saints, that's a problem. Now that brings them to 8 wins. And then 9 wins if they beat the Panthers. I still think it gets the job done.
And then in the playoffs, it's going to be some of the teams that we've already beaten. So, yeah, they could definitely go deep into the playoffs.
Well,
I agree.
That's true, but their defense, the breakdowns, the broken tackles, the missed tackles, the missed assignments, they got to clean it up, and they got to get more pressure on the quarterback. Because, again, I don't care how many points you score, you've got to have some defensive. You don't have to be a superior like the Bucs 2020 team. That wasn't a great defense that year, but they got hot at the right time. They caused turnovers. They made some stops. Well, not in the playoffs. They were impressive.
What they did in the playoff, that final 6 or 7 games of the season, and then going into the playoffs, that rivals what the Bucs did in the old days. I'm not kidding you. That was that good. That defense played out their ear holes. I'm telling you, I would put them up against any defense in that year. That's how good they were in the playoffs.
They played well, but
what they did to Kansas City in Pat Mahomes' prime. I've never seen anything like that.
By the way, who is the defensive coordinator of that team?
Of which team?
Of the Bucs that year when they won.
I believe it's our head coach now.
Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles.
It was Todd Bowles. Yeah.
And who was the OC that everybody wanted to be the head coach?
Byron Leftwich.
You got it.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Oh God! If you know what, please, can you eliminate that one?
I'm not eliminating that one. I love that one. Come on.
How about them
Come
Bucs,
on, it is
baby?
a little funny, Greek. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you know what else is funny? This is kind of funny.
That's great enough to suck right there.
Yeah. That's Tom Brady, right?
That is Tom Brady, yes. Greek loves that one. I always try to play that one. I always try to play this one, too. Hold on. Where's it at?
Shut
Who's that?
That's Adam.
That's you, Ed.
That's Billy. Yeah, that's you,
Adam
Ed.
Sandler?
Yeah, this is you, Ed.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
Peter Griffin, right there, Ed.
I'm Peter Griffin, right?
All right, Ed. Appreciate the
I wish
call.
that was funny. All right, have a good night.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, go Bucs. Yeah, he said go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy!
Don't forget the super chat.
We will get to the super chats in a moment.
Oh my God! Read your comments because I got to bounce.
All right, let's go ahead and go out to these comments more and more. Evening, Peter. Go Bucs. I'm still mad about the Bills game. The special teams coach still on this team. There's no bueno. He needs to be replaced. KR, Sir Boy Wonder. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Lamar, tough game yesterday. We should have won that game, period. Mike DeRoche's. Tampa Bay, fire Todd Bowles. Buccaneers, ha, ha, ha. Lamar, our wideouts did not get shut down. Dave, the only coach I think should be fired is the special teams coach. The special teams has been a problem all year long. It's not improving. That would be Thomas McGahee. It might as well be Matthew McConaughey because the coaching has been it hasn't been all right. It has been pretty terrible at this point with McGahee there. When Parrish made that early pick, I said to myself, maybe we can win this game. Wrong. Broadway. Still love you, Peter. Love the sports web. Still love the Buccaneers. Good stuff there. Dave, I have confidence in this team still. Any game is winnable as long as players do their job. That's what it falls down to. We can talk about coaching and schematically and scheme and all this, but players have to step up. There are still talent on this team. Antoine Winfield Jr., Vita Vea, Levante David, Tyke Smith, who's stepped up. But a lot of these guys, Yaya Diaby, you got to win your one-on-one matchups at this point. There's still players on this team. There's still talent on this team. I will go back to it, though. Does it hurt that you lost Jamel Dean? Yeah, but there's a reason why you drafted Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Parrish in the first place, because you know this would happen. You knew this would happen. And now you're throwing a rookie in there, and he's getting welcomed to the NFL, and it's not so great. You know why? Because he's a rookie. Rookies don't go in there and transition right away. And
Emeka Buka did.
But not everybody's an Emeka Buka.
There you go. That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, everybody did. Again, Kalijah Cansey being out for this team, it hurts. Elijah Roberts, good rookie. We've talked to him on the show, but you're not getting enough pressure. You're not getting a pressure from the outside. Could be worse. We could be the Chiefs fans right now, but they're going around saying fire the coach. Andy Reid would be awesome. 200% confidence in our team. Parrish, regardless, will always ride with the Buccaneers, but we definitely got to fix some things if we want to have a deep playoff run. That's the question for the night. Where's your confidence level with this team? Do you think they can turn it around? Todd Bowles said today on XM Sirius Radio, we're close to putting all three phases together. We put a few more phases together yesterday. He says we just got to tie it all together, and I'm confident we'll do that. Harry, I'll look to you. Can they put it all together? Is this kind of, when you hear these comments that we're close to putting it together, and I guess what I would say is, why isn't it together by now? Is there kind of a pause for cause? What do you think of Todd Bowles' comments, and where's your confidence level with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team?
Injuries. That's all I can say is injuries. It's all part of the National Football League. There's so many teams that are beat up. What's my confidence level? I'm very confident the team's going to win the division. Okay? I don't see any reason for it. How far do they go into the playoffs? Tell me how healthy you are, and I'll tell you how far this team can go. That's it.
It's a good point. It's a good point. And listen, if you can get back Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Jalen McMillan and Bucky Irving, of course. But I still think Sean Tucker on this team is the guy. I think he's the number one player. And Alex, I'm gonna hold off on the phone calls. I'm gonna get to your super chat. I'm gonna get to the rest of these comments, and then we'll take some more phone calls in just a moment. I'm a conservative 5. Secondary worries me. Scott says still want Todd as my coach. Carl, 8 out of 10. We just need to get some players back. Chris Cole, when Dean went down, that's when the game turned. Sandra Nago, watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web. Baker needs help. Love your mom, as always. Jim Melvin, the Bucs were 100% healthy, including Evans, Godwin, Bucky, Malk. They would easily be the best team in the NFL right now. They started this season with the best roster in the league, but as of now stands, they are no better than 15th best. Hopefully, they'll rebound and finish strong enough to win the division. Good stuff there, Jim. Aloha, Peter H. Blake. Thank you, Dave. People can blame the defense, yes, but I still put most of the blame on the kickoff unit. The defense is already behind when you give the ball on short fields after the kickoff. Exactly. That's a good point. Zach Mitchell, good stuff here. Peter Blake, just look at the previous results from early on in the season. It came down to us capitalizing on chances and plays. The most recent losses have been because the plays were needed to be made, and we didn't make them. Great comment right there.
Oh, yeah.
Mike D. Roche's. I hope we get Bucky and Chris back. Absolutely. Aloha, Harry the Greek. Dave, was the game yesterday. I really wish Bucs fans could show up like Bills fans. The only way I was able to get tickets was because a family member gave them to me. Exactly. That's called home field advantage. It's called a fan base that will not allow an opposing fan base to take over their stadium because they're prideful. They're not going to put up with the nonsense. They're not going to allow that to happen. No matter how much money they're offered, they're not going to allow it to happen because they have pride in their team. They care about their team. I love Bucs Nation. I love Bucs fans. But you allow too much of this. I'm not saying go out and fight everybody. I'm saying don't sell your tickets. Have pride. Have home field advantage. Show up to the game. Special teams didn't help defense with those big returns allowed. Put them in a hole 4 times when they were almost guaranteed a field goal at least. Got to fix that ASAP. Absolutely. Quarterbacks got way too much time against us. Scott Broadway says, hey, Harry, Bless you, Carl. The defense played great against the run. We just can't defend the passing game. Lamar there on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. There's no need to fire Todd. Tristan, Mike McCarthy from the Greek. Fire Bowles. He will need to win us. Mike says, fire Bowles. He will never win us a big game. You agree with that?
No.
Okay. Because
Not at all.
That's always the thought process from a lot of Bucs fans. On Greek came with the meat and potatoes. I'm here for it. We're talking now. Lamar, that was some BS on Peter yesterday. It's okay. Let Greek cook. Steve, again, Bowles controls the scheme. Plays 10 yards off of every receiver.
Have to.
Harry's got a point. Dave, Greek is showing me the light. He's right. Jason hasn't done his job making deals to improve this now. Raheem Morris is getting fired. Is that true? Is he getting fired?
He should be.
Official? Yeah, and Peter said he's not worried about Carolina. I'm not worried about Carolina.
That's the team you need to worry about.
But I'm not worried about them. I think the Bucs can beat them. I do.
Yep.
But they got to play better. But I'm not worried about them. Are you worried about them? I know you're worried about them. I know a lot of Bucs fans are worried about Carolina.
Well, look, man, I like the Carolina Panthers. I like what they've been doing, with this football team.
Right.
And it's only taken, 4 years for Bryce Young to become a quarterback?
Right.
Okay, but they're playing a lot better. They're playing a lot more inspired. I'm happy for the organization, just from being a football fan. But are they as good as Tampa Bay? No.
No, they're not. And this player, the veteran players on this team, they've shown when their backs are against the wall, they will play for this coach. They will figure it out and get it done. And if they don't get it done, then we can have the damn conversation on firing people, making changes. But again, as much as it hurt yesterday with that loss, the season is not over. They're 6-4. They have an opportunity to beat the Rams. We'll see what they can do and then go from there. It's a fair take from Harry. Jason Light tried to recreate the Shaq Barrett situation with Reddick, and so far it hasn't worked out. With the Shaq Barrett situation, what's kind of different is you signed Shaq Barrett to a 1-year contract, but here was a hungry player that was behind Von Miller that never got a chance to start. And then he got a chance to start. You thought you would have the same thing with Reddick, but Reddick has done it in this league. He had 59 sacks coming into this year. I like the move, but it hasn't worked out so far. It doesn't mean it can't necessarily work out. It can always turn around. Savasier Dennis had an interception yesterday, but I don't necessarily think he's a great linebacker. Panthers are losing the next 2 games. Thank you. Chris Cole, Quinnen Williams is dominating the Raiders tonight. It's the Raiders. They stink. They always stink. The Raiders are Tom even says they stink.
That's good enough to suck right there.
He's the minority owner. He says they stink at this point. Look at you could be the Raiders right now. You could have Pete Carroll as the coach. You made all these wholesale changes and everything like that. And what did it lead to? Nothing. Bowles has not one thing to do with the offense. He calls the D plays 10 yards off of every receiver. Steve, you've already said that enough on this show. What else do you not like about Todd Bowles? The team's lack of mentality. We need a few more Bakers. Agree with that. Jamel Dean has hurt every other game. Ben, it's also fair to say that special teams added to the problems with the Bucs losing yesterday. They give up an average of 39 yards on punt and kick returns. That already gives a good Buffalo offense more of an advantage, of course. 50-yard line every time, 45-50. It's the scheme issue. Todd Bowles runs the scheme. I don't necessarily think it's all scheme. I think it's players. I think Harry's right that Jason Light has somewhat failed when it comes to getting an edge rusher. The proof is in the pudding. But again, there's still time. Crosby is throwing things on the sideline tonight. Mike DeRoche's Dean is always hurt. He probably gets hurt in his sleep. He's an injury liability, which is the reason why you drafted Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Parrish in the first place. Dallas got Quinnen Williams. WTF, why couldn't we get him? I guess they didn't want to trade away.
Not the player I'm looking for. I'm looking for an edge rusher.
Okay. Personally, I think it's coaching up issue to a certain degree. Personnel is also a factor. Good stuff there. Thank you. Ben Cornett, exactly. That only compounded the defensive problems. A lot can happen when they started their own 25 to 30 yard line. Chris Cole, Trey Hendrickson has been injured a lot. Dave, I heard Cincinnati wanted a first and a temporary pick where it came to be a second. If he did, good. If not, it would be a third. So what team would give up their first 2 picks next year? It's a good question. That's the reason why you don't trade for Trey Hendrickson in the first place, right? Because you're going to give up multiple picks. And then there's no guarantee you're going to sign him. If you sign him, you're going to sign him to a big-time deal. You're going to pay him $30 to $35 million to do. A 31-year-old, I get it.
You're going to be expected to do that, Peter.
Yep.
Because of the fact that you have to give so many people up for him, you know it's going to end up costing you money. My apologies, by the way. It's just I'm really tired, buddy.
No, that's all right. We'll read the rest of these comments and we'll get you out of here for the night. That was a long 7-minute call.
Yeah, I want my other money.
Maybe it's time for Jason to look at his scouts for defensive because they aren't helping to find edge rushers. Steve, Dirk Cutter was horrible, yet you would probably be the guy to say fire Lovie Smith, hire Dirk Cutter because his offense was on fire at that point with Jameis Winston to keep the continuity. And guess what? There was no guarantee that it worked. It doesn't always work to fire and hire coaches. That's what I caution you guys against. No Greek. Peter bet it would be all it would be all Sean Tucker. He won that bet. You're right. You're exactly right. It did. Because it's mid-season spiral. We've all seen it fall through before. Steve, Zach Taylor, he will be available. Because why? He's being fired by the Cincinnati Bengals. Alex, love you guys. Great work. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate the super chat. Greg Colwell, fine with our coach. The argument is ridiculous. Did we regress a bit? Have a bad night? Yes. But what coach doesn't? Get a clue, people. Ed, okay, so we fire the coach in the middle of the season. No. Keep Todd. I want a new defensive coordinator. That way, when it's 3rd and 1, we're not playing a soft zone with our corners 10 yards off the ball, knowing they're going to run a slant. Ed, if we lose out, then we can talk about firing the coach. Agree. Some shows think some shows think that they know more than Bowles. You know one of those shows. Laugh out loud. Yes, I do. Look at Vrabel there for New England. He's a good coach that was fired in Tennessee, but was saddled with mediocre talent there and was still competitive. Good point. I'm sorry, Tucker. Peter said it would be all Tucker. I did. And I believe, I'll put this prediction out here, he should be the number 1 running back going forward until Bucky Irving comes back. Period. That's the guy. Carolina's schedule is rough. They win one more game. Greg Cole is laughing. Love it, Greg. Thank you. The key game this year that caused all the freak out is the loss to the Pats. A win in that home game would have made the Bills' loss much more palatable. Yes, I do love you, buddy. Thank you. I know you love Harry too. Everybody's got to just calm the F down. Broadway. I love that comment. That's a great comment. I agree with you, Harry. I think we win in the division and make the playoffs. David, I felt if Todd Bowles wasn't the head coach, he was just a deep defensive coordinator, everybody would be okay just getting rid of him. Steve says Parrish is our best rookie after Ibuka. Agree. And Harry, I never wanted Byron Leftwich. And Peter, I said this multiple times on your show back in the day.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Lamar, that was a very winnable game indeed. Broadway, we don't know what was going to happen during the trades, giving up draft picks and the trades that would happen. Call Rondé, hire him as a defensive coordinator. Can't get any worse. I think he's happy with doing what he's doing right now. I just think it's funny. And Miami, he's the coach. In Detroit a couple years ago, it was the coach. In New York, it was the coach. But here, Tampa, it's the players. Todd Bowles' defense has to have a dominant pass rusher to succeed. When JPP and Shaq played in the defense, they were great. Now we have nothing. Dave again. Harry, you never told me what I can order from the restaurant. And yes, I'm lactose intolerant. Mike D. Roche's. Didn't like trade for or free agent Albert Hainsworth. No, that wasn't Lights at all. That was Mark Dominic. And Albert Hainsworth, that turned out awful.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Baker needs to team within 2 years went into a total rebuild after that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Albert Hainsworth wasn't doing anything besides collecting money at that point. That team was awful. They were just trying to They were just desperate at that point when they got Hainsworth. Baker needs to wake up feeling dangerous, says Teresa Neptune. Thank you very much for watching.
Oh, yeah.
Her and her boyfriend, thank you very much for liking and subscribing to the Sports Web there. Peter and Harry, how big is the loss of Cansey to play on the defense? Would the edge rushers be better if he was there? Yes.
Much better.
Cansey is a major loss to that team.
Yep.
It is a major loss.
And he's going to be another player that they're going to have to look at the end of the season.
Well, I think it's tough to say what he is because he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
He's injury prone. This is going to be a player that they're going to need to take a really, really, really hard look at.
Yeah, I mean, we're not saying anything that's. I love Kalijah Cansey, loved interviewing him on this show, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy consistently. He's got lots of potential. Yaya Diaby finally able to stay healthy here. He's got lots of potential. Can he show out? Everybody else, you're exactly right. Can we fire the cannons so we can go up there?
Fire the cannons!
There you go. Dave says Mike DeRoche's. No, he did not. Steve, we won't beat Atlanta. Kirk Cousins is a buck killer. I'm glad you're a psychic at this point, Steve. Reddick is a bust. He has been so far. Could you get my second call? You did. Laugh out loud. David says we need that dog in our defense. JPP was that dog for us. When he left, so did the dog. It's a good point. These people need to be kissing the ass of Jason Light and Todd Bowles. Dave, to all the fire Todd Bowles people, who are you hiring if you fire Bowles? Let's see the names. I asked this last night and got names like Mike McDaniels and Mike McCarthy.
I like Mike McCarthy.
And what did he do in Dallas?
Buddy, I like Mike McCarthy.
I know you do.
have to try to work you have to try to work for a blooming idiot, okay, like they do have in Dallas with Mr. Jerry Jones, who's constantly into everything. No, Mike McCarthy would flourish. He's about the only coach out there that he's automatically going to give you 10 or 11 wins. He's automatically going to make your quarterback even better than what he is. There's just going to be that type of disciplined team. I think he is the offensive-minded version of a Todd Bowles.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I would say go out and get a younger name. Go out and get a young coach from that Sean McVay staff or from the Minnesota staff. You got to follow the trends around the National Football League. That's what I would do. A la what you did with the Chicago Bears there and Ben Johnson. You got a young name, not a retread. Uh-oh. Let's go out to Sun Devil Dave here. Sun Devil, we got
great job.
Yes, yes. Go ahead. You have the Greek on here for a little bit longer, and then he's going to
got the Greek for 1 minute. If you got a question, hit me.
Just for the Greek. First of all, I know we're talking Bucs, but real quick, we got to give it a shout out to our 7-3 Chicago Bears, who are leading the NFC North.
Okay, congratulations.
Which is crazy. And then this is for you, Harry. Hold on one second. Here we go. Bringing it back, baby.
Doing it for you.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
No, we're good.
So let's go back to the Bucs. All right. So this whole controversy, everyone's crying about that 4th and 2 play, 7:29 left, and you punt it. I don't see a problem with that. There's 7:29 left in the game. It's 37-32. You're on your own 39. If you don't get that, then the Bills are on your own. In Bucs territory, they could get a field goal. Now you're looking at an 8-point game.
Well, to that
your
point,
defense has got to make a stop. Now, if it was like 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, less than 4 minutes left, yeah, you got to go for it. But 7:24 left, you should be able to get that ball back, get 3 and out.
But they weren't able to do it all day long. And you got 2 yards at that point. If you're going to throw the ball on 3rd down, at least run the ball on 3rd down and try to get the 4th down. Your defense couldn't stop Josh Allen. You're in an offensive shootout.
Right.
Put the ball in your offense's hands because your defense, first and foremost, is wore out. And second, you haven't, again, been able to stop Josh Allen all day long.
Well, I just feel from a field standpoint, I just think that, if it's on their 39, yeah, of course, or in the midfield, but I don't know. I think your defense has got to make some stops. They had that one play where they rushed 3, they dropped 7 or 8, and then the Shavers got open and with that crazy touchdown.
Right.
Do you think, I got to look at the mix. How many times do you think they blitzed it in the game on percentage wise?
I mean, I think
about
they blitzed
20-30%.
I don't think it's even that much. They
They're
blitzed
usually
early.
a lot more than that. I haven't watched the tape.
Right.
I watched it, but that's
early.
not one of the things that I was looking at.
Yeah, they blitzed early, but I didn't see a lot of blitzes after that. I didn't. I saw a lot of zone. I saw a lot of three-man rush, which, by the way, when you do a three-man rush, you're only asking for trouble at that point.
Right.
You
I
really
agree.
are.
You're right. They shouldn't. That play was just
stupid.
But again, let's this whole fire Todd Bowles. Let's chill out on all that and get get rid of Baker and everything else. I'm reading names. Okay, you want Tyrod Taylor? You want who's going to be filling in for Rodgers? He's going to be in there, right?
No.
That guy, what's the guy's name?
No. Please let Aaron Rodgers
Davis Mills.
Mason.
I mean, there's a lot
Rudolph.
of garbage quarterbacks out there. Mayfield's still number 5 quarterback, I think, in the league. So let's everyone chill out on Baker.
Right.
He needs his weapons. He's got 3 of his best players out. So what are you going to do? If Jordan Love didn't have his, Jacobs and 2 of his best receivers, do you think he'd be winning? I mean, in Packerland, probably not.
Wait a minute. They're not winning in Packerland?
Well,
just throwing it out there. Pete, I got to go, buddy.
All right, my friend. Harry.
Dave, have yourself a good
Thank
one.
you guys. Everyone just needs to chill out. Bucs are going to go ahead and beat the Rams Sunday night. We're going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. We'll be a game ahead of the Carolina Panthers. Don't worry about the Panthers. And I just hope that we can get Bucky and Godwin back, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
That'd be nice, Sun Devil. I appreciate you. How do
Okay.
we end the call?
All right. Thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever. Go Bears and go Bucs.
There you go. Good stuff. All right. Harry, thanks a lot for your time here. Go ahead and give me some final thoughts.
Final thoughts? Hear no evil, see no evil. Don't fire your head coach. Go Bucs.
All right. Good stuff there. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. We'll see you on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. All right, my
See
friend?
you, brother. Have a good day.
All right. Absolutely. Guys, don't forget, it reminds me here, because we didn't get a chance to mention it. We were there all weekend. Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa for all your away watch parties when it comes to your USF Bulls. We'll have that for you. Pre-game show probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock as the game is starting at 3 o'clock against UAB on Saturday. And then we'll be back there on Sunday night at I would say about 6 o'clock, 6:30 also start a pregame show there because the game's at 8:20, getting you ready for Bucs versus the Rams. And then I'm going to go out to this really quick or go out to another commercial spot here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Stay tuned. We'll be back here on the Sports Web Live on a Monday night. Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether it's a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. Tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you again. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road. Let's go out to the phone lines. Broadway, you're on the evolution of Sports Talk Television live here at Raymond James Stadium after your Bucs fall to 6-3. Go. All right, so there you go. Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether you want a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber there, Ricky, and all the great barbers at Up the Block Barbershop. And once again, for away watch parties, get out to Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road. Remember, we announced this yesterday. If you go and mention, you go to these watch parties, you go in there, you mention the Sports Web, you get 15% off your bill. All you got to do is tell them Peter Blake, the Rolex reporter, sent you from the Sports Web, and you get 15% off your bill. So there you go. So some incentive on going out to watch parties. If, being a part of a live streaming television radio show without the station wasn't enough, Bucs fans, 15% off your bill is not bad at all. All right. Let's see here. No Oregon Greek Seahawks are in Washington. Get it right. Jalen Phillips would have not cost a first-round pick. He looked good. He looked good last night for them with 5 tackles and 1 sack. Surprising, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. But you're right. They gave up a third-round pick. They took the chance. The Eagles took the chance, and it looks like they won that trade at this point. But just like what Chris Sims said this morning, we got to get our offensive players back because we're going to have to score at least 50 points each game to win, knowing our defense is going to give up 30. Yeah, it's pretty bad at this point. A lot of Bucs fans need to be thankful we aren't the Jets, Raiders, or Browns in their situation. Absolutely. Devin White killed Mahomes. He did. Special teams needs help. End of story. Ed, week number 1 for the power rankings. This is a good team. David says, I know this is going to be sarcastic, but everybody keeps saying when we get Bucky and all them back, it's going to make our defense better. But when Bucky gets back, we're not going to give up any more 100-yard rushers. When Godwin gets back, we're going to get more sacks and 3-and-outs. And even when Evans gets back, we're going to get more interceptions and pass blocks. Offense ain't the problem. You're right about that. Let me read the rest of these comments, and I'll probably get out here for the night. I'm worried about the Panthers. They have found a running game. It's helping Young to mature. We can't take them lightly. Risa says we need a linebacker really bad. Good luck, Peter and the Greek. Van House Life. Thank you, Cole. Today reverted to our old habits of game management. Cole again. In a word, relax, people. Cole. Todd reverted to his old ways in a bad way. Absolutely. Tucker until Bucky comes back. Let's go, Bucs. Agree with that.
Wait up, wait up.
Should be the number 1 running back at this point, in my opinion. He should be. What's the story with Bucky? It's like the great mystery. We don't know. It's a foot injury. It's a shoulder injury. We just don't know at this juncture. Bill Belichick, next coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ha, ha, ha. Doubt it. Hate that 33 defense. That's what Florida State's been running this year, and you see how good their defense is. Yep.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Christopher Cole, I can't believe they're showing this game on Monday Night Football. It's bad, right? Put in Kyle Trask. Yeah, okay. Dave, also get rid of Baker. People just stop. Be glad we finally have a quarterback that's going to be here longer than 5 years. Again, if you let Baker go, who are you going to bring in or draft? These people know. They know. Love the commercial. Thank you very much. My solution is to fire Bowles, put Kyle Trask, hire Mike McDaniels. Terrible solution.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Mike, you didn't play my video. I didn't. I have to download it. I will play it on Wednesday. I promise. Peter, you're right about Tucker. I was wrong about Tucker. I'm eating crow. It's okay. Cole, if anyone should be fired, it's the special teams coordinator. 200-plus yards and return yards is a reason to lose your job. Ed, where we're number 1. We were number 1 in the power rankings for the week this season. Thanks, Pete and Greek. Great show as always. Let's go, Bucs. Beat the Rams. Love it.
Wait up, wait up. It's exciting. Fire the cannon.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you in Van House Life. We will go 1-16. Laugh out loud.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Ed, Baker isn't going anywhere. Why are people calling for his job? Because that's what they do on this show. No more calls, no more comments. Appreciate it. We'll get out here for the night. It's been a long weekend. It's been a long week, but we will be back, if I can talk, on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, most likely with Harry the Greek. And, of course, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. Nonsense, exactly. That's what you spew here on this show all the time. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Give to the content if you like the content. Thank you, Alex, for the YouTube Super Chat. Again, Facebook stars are open. Do 3 things here, Bucs fans, as we get you ready for Bucs versus the Rams on Sunday Night Football live from Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always say on this show to end it off, Go Bucs.